But
That's
like,
the problem.
did we really need Black and Blue? Did we really need Motorcycle Ride?
Yes, I love those songs.
But if they came out 2 months later on like the EP that followed it, I think Let's Go would be a better record.
All right, let's talk about Let's Go. It came out in what, 1993?
94. We should mention that.
That's right, 94. I'm sorry.
Around 30 years this year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, it's so nuts. I got to find out when did that come out? What date? Do you know?
It's in the summer. I want to say it's summer. I have a master list of everything that came out in 94, and I want to say it's like the last one of all the big.
We're going to have to definitely
do a
and
title it Appreciation. We're going to make it clear how much we appreciate that album.
100%, bro. 100%. So, let's see. I'll look it up later. June 21st. Okay, so it is late summer. Okay,
that'll be a good summer.
So Let's Go is an album that I listen to absolutely to death, man. We have talked about this album both glowingly and throwing a little bit of shade. I would like to stipulate here that I love this record. Yeah, dude, this album's awesome. So, but it is a little bit long, dude. I think.
Yeah, that's my exact criticism of it. If they edited it down a little bit, not to say any of the songs are necessarily bad that are on there, but
that's the problem.
Did we really need Black and Blue? Did we really need Motorcycle Ride?
Yes, I love those songs.
But if they came out 2 months later on like the EP that followed it, I think Let's Go would be a better record. Like if it wasn't such a long
those two songs, man.
Listen,
that's the problem though, is that every song is the problem. So damn good.
Yeah, that is that you're exactly right. There's a lot of songs on that album though. It's a long track listing in general. I know it's not that long for the punk songs, but I want to say it's like 17, 18.
Oh, dude, it's like 18. I think is how many. Dude, they could have taken Name, 7 Years Down, Tenderloin.
Not Tenderloin. You're not taking
that song's all right. Burn. I mean, those are all good songs. Gave It Away. They could have made a 15 song album and a 5 song EP with like a some kind of unreleased bonus stuff or something. And I would have personally been a little bigger fan of it. And I think it would have stood the test of time a little bit more. But
yeah, because we're also judging this by modern like ADD attention spans that we all have now too.
I've always felt this way, man. Like if it's more than 45 minutes, it didn't fit on one side of my tape. So I was bummed by that. I had to take the last song off. Let's Go off, and it bothered me. It really did. So no, for real, dude.
No, I know the struggle. I'm laughing because it's like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the record, if you look at it objectively and you sit down and listen to it, dude, how many of those songs are you not singing along to?
No, especially
one or two.
That first part of that record, I mean, it is you're just singing. You're singing the song about Wolverine. You're singing the ballad of Jimmy and Johnny. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker like, come on, dude. It's so fun to Nihilism, Salvation. Like, I'm not even mentioning those two massive songs.
See, Nihilism's one that I can take it or leave it.
Freak out that you don't like Nihilism. Like, I
don't dislike it. It's just not one that I'm like.
It's, I just who cares? Whatever. I think it's like. It's such a cool Lars song. It's like one of the early Lars songs too.
That's a good point.
No, it's a great album. The album is good. I just don't like that the second half of it as much. I think it's a little uneven there. And I said just a lot of songs. They just trim down songs because even if they're short songs and like so the album doesn't take up a lot of space, they're short songs. So it's kind of like this TikTok kind of thing where you're here, then you're here, then you're here. So whereas some of these songs that say like Life Won't Wait, you're really sort of like I wouldn't cut anything from Life Won't Wait, and it's extra long, but that's sort of the vibe of that album. Like
Life Won't Wait,
that album.
It feels more like a journey that you have to go on, whereas Let's Go feels like you're running to the corner store, and it's like, is there a quicker way to get there? Whereas
I can listen to that.
I want to go watch this movie.
Right, I can listen to very like Let's Go. I can listen to on shuffle, and it's just fun. Like you're just going from place to place. Where again, like Life Won't Wait, it's kind of not good in isolation. It's much better. It's like an epic movie where you're gonna
very cinematic.
Back in the day, you're taking the phone off the hook and you're just watching this for the next 2.5 hours.
Right, you have to listen to that one in order. It doesn't make sense if you don't. But let's talk about some specific songs off of Let's Go, man. My favorite, I'll just throw them out here real quick, dude. My favorite are the Ballad of Jimmy and Johnny. That song is important to me for reasons that anybody that knows me should understand very quickly. I've got friends like that. I listen to a lot of that oi music, and it's a good story. It's a great song. It's a song I've loved since I've heard it the first time.
I mean, it's such a funny song. Like I always sort of, the way he delivers it too. These albums I think early on are a little more Tim heavy as far as like the lyrical stuff and the singing, and he does a lot more. The band actually I think gets better as they get into the later albums, and the sound is a little more balanced. But like Jimmy and Johnny, that's just I know there's good music in there, but I could just hear Tim just doing Jimmy and John, two friends of mine, skinhead with a like you don't even need music. It could almost be a cappella there with Tim,
right?
And it's so good.
Dude, how many years did it take you to understand that he said that in Johnny Likes Last Resort? Dude, I think I've only known that lyric for like 5 years. Like,
there's a lot of, you know how they do those YouTube videos of misheard lyrics or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You can just do every Rancid album and like,
dude,
we all have our specific, like we deeply connected to a misheard Rancid lyric somewhere.
Oh, I was for years for a lot of this stuff. Let's be honest here. But like, I do think it's funny that people give large shit for like being a skinhead or whatever. And it's like, man, you can point to lyrics as far back as 1994 that they sang about skinhead shit, dude. It's like, stop with the nonsense.
Yeah, and by all accounts, he didn't have a lot of songwriting influence on Let's Go in that time period. He was still kind of like the new guy, So
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's been in there.
Yeah, but it's part of that. Yeah, part of that culture too.
They've all been a part of that. I mean,
look
at he was in did he tour with UK Subs? I think. Dude, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? Anyways, my number 2 and number 1 are very easy to figure out. It would be International Cover Up, which I just think is a fantastic track. It's a top 10 for me of all time. And then the obvious answer for my number 1 is Radio. It's just like we said earlier. It's kind of a perfect song.
Yeah. I've mentioned all 3 of mine before: Radio, St. Mary, and 7 Years Down. Again,
7 Years Down is a top 3 off the album for you. I
know you don't, and I would think you would like it because of the lyrical content to it.
That's what's making me second guess myself.
Yeah, and it's one of those 2 where Tim doesn't take a breath in that segment. They throw me out and they call me a faggot. They said I never, he's just going through that whole thing, and then Freeman comes in. Who's the opposition? 7 years down. I just like the way that song is composed. I also like that weird guitar thing they're doing at the beginning with that little ding, ding. It does come at the end of what I consider some of the more frivolous songs though, and that it's probably a little less listened to, honestly, because that was the thing about Let's Go. I didn't always get to the end of it because it would be so long.
That's true. Well, remember what I told you earlier? I had cut the last song off of Let's Go off my tape,
which is 7 years down, right?
Song on the album. So I didn't hear that song very much. Legitimately, I didn't.
So I got more familiar with it actually. That's the song they gave to the Rock Against Bush compilation. That's where I really dove into that song. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been where, because I am like I did my Outcome the Wolves versus Let's Go stream a few years ago, and I realized how unfamiliar I was with some of those later songs on that album. I never snapped it. It was like, I used to take it out of the CD changer when you get to like that song. But 7 years down, the reason why it stuck with me, it's on I think the first or second. Well, there's only 2 of them, but it's on one of the Rock Against Bush comps.
Yeah, it's a song that I need to go dive back into. Sorry, I need to dive back into that song for sure.
Well, we got the big Let's Go deep dive coming. That's our summer quarterly Rancid.
That's video. Exactly what I was thinking, dude.